because we're going to make history today. You want to be in the room in the United Nations and UNESCO where we make history?
Yes.
Well, you are.
Sure.
Because I'm going to give everybody the opportunity to have a blockchain address, their own Ethereum blockchain address, and they'll be able to sign up without any special needs or issues in 1 second. And this is going to be able to fund education. I'm going to show you all how we're getting ready to fund billions and billions of dollars in education. You might not know this, but formal learning only accounts for 10% of education. So all your university degrees and all these high-level certificates that we think only account for 10% of education. And oh, by the way, just thank you for UNESCO and a round of applause for the volunteers for what they've been doing. I know Sebastian's been doing a great job. I don't want to forget that while we get into the mojo of actually creating our own blockchain wallet addresses in here. And also, I'm really looking forward to our colleagues from Hong Kong to talk about that. To talk about their blockchain address. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. So before we get started, let me tell you a story to exemplify this. So I'm the host of Crypto Mondays Global. Crypto Mondays is the largest and longest running meetups and community in blockchain Web3 industry, and now we've built it to over 57 cities in 30 different countries. We have weekly events in all the major cities around the world, and I'm the host, so I know everybody in blockchain and crypto. And as a matter of fact, we're going to have Crypto Mondays here in Paris next Monday, and then so we know about this a lot, but I know that you don't, and then you don't know what it can do. So let me just tell you about a story where I was in Miami last year, last year in Miami, and then I went to Senegal for e-learning Africa after I was in Miami. And I was in a taxi, and there was this young man in a taxi, and he was 14 years old driving a taxi, okay? And he was rapping. He was really excited, happy guy, and he wanted to show me his rap. Because he's like, oh, American guy, I want to show you my rap. And he was rapping in French, of course, and because this was Senegal. And I said, oh, wow, that's a really good rap, man. He's like, really good. I said, hey, I tell you what, why don't you come tonight to the e-learning conference, and you can do a rap, because I've been invited to the VIP after conference dinner by a wonderful, amazing woman named Rebecca Strohmeyer, many of you might know, and a gentleman that was also there named Mark West, who had his plenary on this amazing Gateways program here. So he was there in the audience, and this rapper came, and me and this rapper, 14-year-old rapper, we did a rap together, okay? And I gotta say, I wasn't too good, so it's good that I'm doing this instead. But he was really good. And I told him after, I said, hey, you know what? Just 2 weeks ago, I was just in Miami. I came here through Dubai, and you know who I interviewed? Because I interview all the big names in crypto and blockchain. As a matter of fact, the United Nations just had them on. So you can go to Crypto Mondays Global and see Robert Pasico, the UNDP representative, talking about how all 120,000 employees of the United Nations are going to be on blockchain within the next few months, as a matter of fact. But anyways, so we rapped and this and that. I said, hey, guess what, kid? You know who I interviewed 2 weeks ago? Ilya, a guy named Ilya the producer. And he's the producer of Eminem. I said, so I'm going to send your video, your rap video, to Eminem's producer. Let's see what he can do. Well, I did it. Of course, this 14-year-old taxi driver boy was overwhelmed with excitement and joy. Comes to find out, turns out that he wasn't actually a very good rapper. But beside the point, who calculates that education? What kind of credentials does this young man get? How do we qualify and measure the value of what this young boy is doing? And then the second thing, why isn't he in school? Why is he driving a taxi at 14 years old and not in school? I'll tell you why, because he has to take care of his parents, because he has to take care of his family. And this is a real situation, real world around people. And then you have NGOs, you have nonprofit organizations, you have schools, you have many different things of education. And now you have AI that's transforming education across the board. Well, how do we measure and calculate that, and then how do we fund that? Well, I've been working on this for 7 years now, and finally I'm proud to say here that we've got the nonprofit status, 501c3 status in the United States, which is almost impossible for anybody working with even using the word crypto. So I'm proud to say that we're fully legal, and that's why I've been invited here. Because we do things behind the scenes a lot, and I'm happy to do that, because another thing that's really important is privacy, and the data privacy, and protecting your privacy, and making sure that the LLMs and the training models and the big tech companies are taking your data, and the governments are taking your data and then using it for nefarious purposes. So we're going to get right to it. You guys ready for your interactive session? I'm going to show you 2 things today. 1, how we're going to fund climate education. 2, how you can get your own program funded and get on the blockchain in a second. All right, let's go. All right, so why not create, fund, and verify awards on public blockchain net zero for free? I'm going to bust one myth right now about blockchain using energy in the world. Bitcoin is only one token, it's only one blockchain, and yes, Bitcoin does use a lot of energy. It uses about 1/50th of the energy that your large language models and your AI education is going to use. But besides Bitcoin, most other blockchains are proof-of-stake systems, and they use less energy than you're using right now with your email or anything else. They use zero energy, okay? They require very little energy, and even sometimes, and so we're not talking about using energy and destroying the environment to do this stuff. What we're talking about is protection of our kids, protection of our values, and expanding education to ways that I can't dictate. I got a doctorate of education, like many of you do, but I don't know what a good education is. People on the ground do. So if you want to click this first QR code, you're going to see a badge that's on the blockchain. And now I've changed the system here. The system's already live, but I don't want the United Nations to get your data, my data. So we've created a test system just for today. I'll just explain. So LaySale Foundation. I'm not going to explain all about blockchain and crypto and what it does and all that. That would take another hour. Let's just make it simple. How can we fund the education we believe in? How can we track and trace where the money goes? Because I tell you what, my friends, including all the Paris Blockchain Week guys, and who look forward to seeing them in the Louvre again underneath the pyramid where we had Paris Blockchain Week last year. You know what? They got a lot of money now, and they want to use it to do good work, but they don't trust a lot of you NGOs and a lot of these programs, because they know a lot of money goes somewhere and then it just disappears and goes, who knows where it goes, right? Well, on transparent blockchain, we know exactly where it goes. And because our nonprofits decided to take all the transactions fees, the user doesn't have to do anything. You don't have to worry about gas fees. You don't have to worry about having crypto in your wallet. You don't have to worry. It's just click and go. All right? So what we have here, so we made it easy for the user now. And I know you guys in Hong Kong are very advanced with your technology, but I think we're one step ahead here. And so you don't need any problem. You don't need any ID or anything like that. Now, who's Earth Cubs and what's this badge? Anybody can create a digital badge for any purpose on our platform, and you can get it funded by our outside sources. Now, how do you mean? You put the money in the badge? Yeah, it's called the ERC 1155 token, multi-utility. So it's not only an NFT, which again is immutable and you can't change, and if you own it, by the way, the university or institution doesn't own this, you own it. But inside it is also tokens that are transferable. Those can be transferred for cash or crypto. Now, if you transfer your tokens that you receive, or your kids or your students, if you transfer that for cash, I'm going to tell you, you're going to need to go through a KYC AML process. And you got a lawyer right here that can help you with understanding what that is. So this is a way to protect from anti-money laundering and terrorism, things like that. So if you don't we're not just going to give you crypto and then you can just take it and do whatever you want with it and trade for cash. So just keep in mind that if you want to trade for cash, you're going to have to go through those processes. But let's just talk about funding education for this rapper, 14-year-old rapper, or anyone else that needs it. If you can see that badge, you're going to see that we've made the recipients of that badge, the beneficiaries of that badge, every time a person gets a digital badge with tokens, with the transferable tokens, guess what? It creates a record on the blockchain. And so what we know as a funder, so if I want to fund LayCL Foundation and Earth Cubs, and Earth Cubs is doing an amazing thing. They're doing climate education for early childhood education with 10,000 schools around the world. Okay? And we want to fund this. All right? So crypto people want to support this and fund this. And we're funding with 500,000 euros to make sure that all of those teachers that are doing this climate education and early childhood education not only get a certification that says they are a conscious teacher and they can keep that in their own wallet, they can transfer, they can put it on Instagram, it doesn't matter. This works on all platforms, but they get 50 bucks as well. Right? Then don't you think, I mean, who agrees that we should be incentivizing teachers for good work? Everybody kind of agrees on that, right? Mm-hmm. But I haven't heard a single person talk about that when we're talking about integrating AI. But if we want to move the ball towards solving the climate problem, well, why don't we incentivize the teachers that are actually doing the good work of implementing climate change education in their classroom? And there's no better way to incentivize somebody except a little bit of sugar. Am I right? Yes. All right, a little bit of money helps. All right, especially when you're talking about a lot of the countries where you represent, people represent, and $50 is, going to buy you a lot more than a coffee like it does here in Paris. All right, so you can do all this with these badges. All right, it's owned by the user. We don't need third parties. We don't need permission. Last thing we're going to do today, because again, it's really short, and I know this is a very new concept, but you can see what it can do if you know anything about digital badges, is the last slide is this one here. Get your own blockchain address in 1 second to make you in blockchain history right now. So if you want to go ahead and click this, you're going to go to the test site, and all you got to put it in is an email address. And again, I'm not taking your data. All right? Your email address is going to go nowhere where Mark Zuckerberg and these other people will never ever be able to see it or get it. And I won't even know your student's data. But I'm going to follow the money. So if you want to do it and get on there, then all you have to do is you can sign up, and you'll see once you sign up, it'll take 1 second. You will already have your Polygon blockchain address, your Ethereum blockchain address, and you can transact in crypto without any third parties and start to create the education that you believe in, and then work with us, and then we will get it funded through digital assets and this new alternative finance world. So yeah, the last slide is just a finished slide, so to show you what it kind of looks like if you don't want to sign up. Thank you very much for the time, and I'm really excited to see the next presentation with respected colleagues from Hong Kong University.
Thank you so much.